All right, welcome to part 2 of the Serge Nubret training philosophy. What we're going to do in this part is focus on the lat pullovers. Although the lat pullovers is not directly a chest exercise, it is indirectly a chest exercise. The lat, as it has in its name, is the latissimus dorsi, the back muscles, the same muscles that you work when you do pull-ups. You'll also get some intercostals in here. You'll also get some triceps in here as well. So, the side chest pose, bam. Man, I love it. At any rate, I'm messing with you guys. I'm messing with myself. I'm talking to myself. Something's wrong with me. Okay, anyway, we're going to do the lat pullover in this portion. So this is part 2, and then we're going to go right away to part 3, which is the pec flies. So when you put all 3 of these together, you have a nice comprehensive pec workout, Serge Nubret style. All right, I first saw Serge Nubret do pullovers in the movie Pump and Iron. And in the years since that I've seen, I think I saw it for the first time in the late 80s. Of course, Dorian Yates cited using the kind of the Cybex or the selectorized lat pullover as one of his favorite exercises. I've since developed a real deep connection to this exercise because it does help you stretch out. So I'm going to do a set here with the 35-pound dumbbells. I'll straighten my legs out and hands together. I've got the dumbbells together, and I'll stretch all the way back and bring it up to the chest. So as I go back, I pull my stomach in tight, and I'm very careful and very deliberate. I'm focused on every bit of this movement from the backwards to the forwards. I don't want to make any mistakes and slip here. This is very dangerous, so you want to stay focused. You can pinch your fingers. This is a pinch hazard, I call it, if you don't stay focused. 1, 2, all the way up over the chest. Stomach in tight. I suck the stomach in tight. 3. This is tough. 4. Now I have to double down on my concentration, so if you're going to do this with me, I suggest you do the same. 5. Give me 2 more. I might even tell you not to try to hold your hands together. 6. 1 more. 7. All right. I was trying to hold my hands completely together doing that particular exercise, and maybe you can have your hands about an inch apart and stay focused that way. I did around about 10 repetitions there. Serge Nubret to me was the king and the father of aesthetic bodybuilding. The classic physique was what they're talking about now, and I think the consensus with the professional athletes and other fans, probably more so than me, feel as if Frank Zane, who was certainly ahead of his time in terms of a classic physique, is the father of the classic physique. A 3-time Mr. Olympia, Frank Zane. I think he never weighed more than 190 pounds when he won. I did an informal survey before and would show people Frank Zane's picture versus Serge Nubret's picture. And a lot of people chose Frank Zane, and I was kind of shocked. I thought more people would have thought that Serge Nubret had the better, more aesthetic physique. Granted, they weren't looking at legs. Serge Nubret didn't have nearly the kind of legs you find today. And even for that time, he was definitely outclassed by most people. But I found his physique to be more superhuman-like, alien, unbelievable, but yet still a model for physical success. And I often wondered why, like, Hollywood in America never tried to find a superhero, particularly for black culture, that looked like a Serge Nubret. I never understood, maybe something that they weren't interested in. I found like a Shaft or a Superfly to kind of be ridiculous as heroes. Street heroes, one thing. But that was that, the Serge Nubret physique, the biceps and the chest fullness is out of this world, but the abdominals were etched and they weren't flat. They were like three-dimensional. I'm going to go for another 10 here. One, concentrate. 2, 3, 4. I'm pulling the stomach in tight, really. 5. I can consider this a kind of an ab exercise too. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You need to have pretty good grip strength here. 11. Let me go for 11. Here we go. I'm trying to figure out what kind of athlete I would recommend to do the lat pullover. Not too many. I guess anyone that needs some kind of grip strength. This is a great aesthetic exercise. Oh, maybe an acrobat who does trapeze stuff with a second person, like a Cirque du Soleil. They oftentimes have to balance people overhead and do these weird movements. So maybe if you're a circus athlete, I would definitely recommend this for you. I think circus athletes are amazing. Cirque du Soleil people. If I could do half the things they would do, I'd be a multi-millionaire. But I digress. Going back to the Serge Nubret. The Serge Nubret look is so elusive, man. It is something to behold. I'm 5'7". If I could just keep a small waist, a thick chest, and thick arms, and legs, I would say like a good soccer player, I would have probably the best physique in the tri-state area. I'm in New York, New Jersey. That's not true. But I would say that, Serge Nubret definitely gave me the ideal in which to shoot for. So learning how to train like him with high volume, constant tension, low rest in between sets, and using these an exercise like the lat pullover on a regular basis is really helpful because it puts into my toolbox some bodybuilding techniques from days gone by. I came through the American College of Sports Medicine, the American Council of Exercise, National Academy of Sports Medicine, the National Strength and Conditioning Association. So I came through the traditional and kind of high-end certification programs that did not focus as much on bodybuilding. They focused more on sports conditioning or health and wellness, which is, my forte. But the ISSA, International Sports Science Association, when I studied under Fred Hatfield, I learned more about bodybuilding, but even they didn't talk much about Serge Nubret. So I appreciate YouTube and going back and being able to see some of Serge's old students and watching his old videos and listening to people dig up articles to talk about his philosophy, because I feel now in my late 40s, I've got a better sense of who he was as opposed to what I knew about him 25 years ago, or which I would have really appreciated, back in the 90s. Had I been training more like him, I think I would have seen better results. But, you used to get that fake, those fake articles where people were claiming to do 3 sets of 10 repetitions on bench press, inclines, and flies and call it a day. That wasn't true. These guys were doing high volume, but many of us didn't know because we couldn't afford to go train with Serge Nubret. That's 2. Suck the stomach in tight, Pilates style. I used to teach Pilates, so I always tell you to draw the belly button in toward the spine. 3, This is one of those exercises that I put in my Iron Pilates program. 4, 5, 6, a good stretch, 7, 8, look at me reach all the way back, 9, stiff arms, I'm not bending them like I do and extending, 10, one more, stomach in tight, 11, right, yeah, 35 pounds is just about right for me to get a good pump here. I'll do one more set and then we go into part 3. Part 3 is going to be the pec fly.